to Attention Gray Matter. I'm your host, Dave Sokolowski, along with Barry 3D Carter, the silver-haired San Francisco treat, Zulf Ali,
Yeah.
and as always, Thomas Boutrice. It's a very special thank you to Jaybird Digital Arts. Without him, we don't look half as good. And if you've watched the shows before, you're probably sitting there going, oh, fuck, he's done a lot of good work then. So what's happening, Zulf?
Yo, crazy. If you've not been up to date with what's going on, crazy things I got to share with you guys. Have you heard of the Freedom Convoy that's happening around? All these truckers are heading down boop, boop, to Ottawa. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. The Freedom Convoy, which is heading, all the truckers are protesting and going to Ottawa. Now, let me tell you what's happening quickly. So all these truckers are saying, the government came up, Mr. JT, just in, who's going to be just out soon, came in and said that, hey, all truckers should be vaccinated. And everybody's like, cool. And then he said, oh, yeah, that's okay. You guys don't need to be vaccinated to go in and out of the border. And they're like, super. And then he's like, oh, wait a minute. We don't want to spread this shit more. Everybody should be vaccinated. Now, here's a quick story, guys. 90% of the Canadian truckers are vaccinated and are pro-vaccination. 90% of them. The people who are making the noise, guess who? The Americans, as always. So all these truckers decide to head down to Ottawa for a protest this last weekend. And what happened was, surprise, surprise, there were people who showed up with Nazi flags and Confederation flags. And people are like, we didn't know these truckers were racist. Really? So while the protest is happening, what's been going on is, because the protest has been going on for a week long and they went all down this weekend to Ottawa, you would have noticed in your local groceries, there's a shortage of poultry and meat and a little bit of veggies because these truckers are not doing in and out anymore. They're stopping right in the middle of the road and they're protesting, saying, hey, take this vaccination bullshit off, and we don't want any of this stuff. While this is happening, I know, Barry, you shared some pictures out of Montreal. There is a figure of Terry Fox out in Ottawa that was what's the word I'm looking for?
Defaced.
Thank you. Vandalized was what I was thinking, but they defaced it. They put some stuff on it. They put some Canadian flags on it. They put some Confederation flags on a couple other statues. They put some protest stuff. They got the Nazi flags going on. And what is this taken out is they've kind of defeated the purpose of the whole protest and made it towards a white supremacist thing. So it's become more of a right-wing protest, and it's kind of faded away in terms of what the main issue was. So JT has come out saying, hey, I'm not going to bow down, and you guys need to clean this mess up. And yeah, I agree, with the good comes the bad. So everybody needs to clean up. And if you see something that you do not like a racist attempt or a Confederation flag or a Nazi, speak up and make, voice your opinion, because you guys are protesting silently about something that makes sense for you guys. And I understand that. However, I am not going to budge on the movement of everybody getting to be vaccinated. Now, here's a little tricky part of the story, which I found out later on from 6 Buzz TV. So that's my source. After the protest was done, Sunday night, these guys, all the protests, which were the actual guys who went down to protest about the COVID vaccine mandates, they cleaned up everything. They cleaned up the vandalized, defaced Terry Fox statue. They cleaned it. There are pictures of them cleaning it up and everything. So they did the protest. They partied hard. They cleaned up. They put everything in trash bags and they put it on the side of the streets. So all the good stuff happened. And the mandate, obviously, the protest was done silently. But obviously, the good brings out the bad as well. So here's the fun part. The bad guys went, and because there was no food available, because obviously, everything was shut down, they went to homeless shelters and robbed these people for soups and food for people who don't really need them, and took away from people who needed it. So kind of defeated the whole purpose in terms of the bigger picture, because all the media started focusing on the narrow and the smaller stuff. And now all this mandate, and I was kind of supporting the Freedom Convoy anyway, because I'm like, hey man, it makes sense. Let them do them. We need food, we need shelter, we need all our basic amenities. And these guys are not getting across. Fuck them. They don't want to care. Let them go. But at this point now, because of all these small things have been focused on, the good or the bigger picture is totally demolished. So all this thing that they worked for, down the drain. And And I know, Barry, you had some pictures of your friend sent out across. I saw some pictures on Six Buzz TV. I could share it out with you guys.
Yeah. You know, and that's what really got me, because I mean, they went down, protest, whatever. I get it, freedom of speech. I'm not going to get in one side or the other, agree or disagree. Right? We've got freedom of speech. That's what it is. This is what the country we live in. The problem is that the ones that were really disrespectful are that little small group. And just like every, I don't care, group you believe in, group you're a part of, race you're a part of, whatever, there's always a small percentage of ones that fuck it up for everybody else who's trying to do good in life, and then they get judged. So I'm not taking one step. My it's just for those ones that really ruined it. And it was shocking to see, you know. So you had a whole bunch of people that were dancing on top of the unknown soldier's grave.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And they're and the police are coming over saying, get off, you know, and they're just totally disrespecting that. And that there totally disrespects anyone in the military. I have friends in the military. Thomas, you were in the military.
TP was in the,
yeah, I have friends currently in the military, and that totally disrespects them. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but that totally disrespects that. And why are you going to decimate a gravesite over your foolishness? You know, the Terry Fox statutes you're saying. Right,
Dave.
Exactly, Dave. I hear you. You know, it was wrong. When I saw that Terry Fox statue, they put the Canadian flag upside down. And they did that intentionally to prove a point. You know, I know when they do that upside down flag there in the States, it's called the deep state conspiracy theories. You know, if you want to have your own protest to push your own issue, then be bold enough to do it on your own with others of your own. Don't piggyback off of others and then try to get away with it and then ruin what someone else is trying to do. And then that group of Nazis. We're in Canada.
Yes.
In 2022. And you fuckers are going to jump up during any protest and say, we're the Nazi party. I would like to see the Nazi party turn around, go down on Lakeshore during Caravana, 6, 7 guys, and try that shit. Because that, to me, would be like our last episode where don't have your liquid courage go against someone that's going to kick your ass, like Don Fry.
So what also annoyed me about the whole thing was they actually started a GoFundMe page and they raised 7 million Canadian, which is 5.4 USD. And then, you know, it kind of, somebody raised a point and I get it from their point of view. And I was like, Indigenous people do not have clean water till date, as per JT promises. They tried tons of GoFundMe pages and obviously nothing was funded up to that kind of amount. And now on this, you know, protest, they've raised 7 million, boom, in a matter of like 3 days. This surprises me on like where, as human beings, where our priorities actually lie.
Yeah,
right?
But even the person behind that GoFundMe page, like if you look at her, you know, who started out in Manitoba, she's so anti, you know, this and anti that, you know, like she's racist.
yeah.
Whatever. She's racist. She's full of racist. And she got a GoFundMe page for other people to kind of push that mandate. So if someone is doing a GoFundMe page is racist, and then little pockets of racist people kind of pop up in there, kind of pushing their agenda, it really tells me what the Freedom Convoy was.
Yeah.
I don't care what you call it. It was a racist protest to a point. I know people are like, no, Barry. I'm like, no, all right, then. You know, once again, I don't see them showing up. They show up where they know they're safe. You know what I mean? Because I said, you wouldn't catch those people showing up, you know, with the swastikas at Caravana.
I would love to see that.
Those 6, 7 guys at Caravana going, you know, pushing the Nazi agenda. That wouldn't work. It'd be one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
It's just the fact that, yes, 10% of the drivers are not vaccinated. The American government has said you can't come in if you're not vaccinated. They're putting a tight squeeze on people that are crossing the border because we primarily did it to them for saying, hey, you know what? We're really worried about this pandemic. This was the beginning of the pandemic. Trudeau's stance and whatnot, the flip-flopping, hey, you know, I want to look into that more. But my whole thing that really, really pissed me off is this. People come up with a good idea. It gets polluted as the idea goes down the chain. You have 1 or 2 people who want to, you know, I want to show what I can do. And their ideas are completely whacked. Then you have these assholes, like Zolf said, they jump on with the Confederate flag, with the Nazi swastika. Mind you, anyways, just the fact that they went and they did that stuff to Terry Fox. Okay, let me just stand and say this. I'm a very proud Canadian. And what Terry Fox did is that man ran across the country while dying from bone cancer. That man has more guts in the short life that he lived than anybody who took the time to deface his statue. That shit, I don't give a damn. I don't stand for that at all. If I got a problem with somebody, I'm going to go to them, we're going to discuss it, or we're going to throw down. But I will not with somebody who's dead and can't defend himself. That shit, not cool. Last but not least, and I want no jokes made about this, there are men out there who didn't come home from the Second World War to defend your right to be a bunch of fucking little assholes. That soldier defended your right to be a Canadian citizen and have certain rights and certain privileges that he didn't have when he was alive. For you to go dance on his fucking grave is not just a disgrace to the entire country, it is a disgrace to anybody who wears a fucking uniform. For you to do that shit, you didn't just piss me off. You pissed off a lot of people I know. To be pissed off that you can't do your job, I understand. We're all frustrated. This is a point in time that we have never seen before, and everybody is feeling the pain and the burden. Some more than others, yes. But when you take the time to let little assholes in who believe they can do shit like that, that's a fucking line you do not cross. And this is not a joke. This is not part of this show. This is me talking for myself. That is a fucking line you do not cross. Period. You have a problem with the government? Hey, not a problem. We all have problems with the government every now and then. You have a problem with somebody who's in the government or somebody who's not doing what you would like done? You have a right to voice your opinion. This is a free country. We all have rights. But the tomb of that soldier and that fucking statue are off limits by every fucking inch of my fucking body, by every fucking ounce of anger that I have in me. Those things are off limits because those things make us different in the world. We are proud Canadians. We don't do that shit. Period. You want to direct your anger at me? Go the fuck ahead. I'm not backing down. I have to say.
You are defined by the company you keep. Therefore, you might want to sit there and say that this is going to be a peaceful protest and we're just going down to Ottawa to say we don't want the mandates and everything else. But you walked by and you said fuck all when people were flying a Nazi flag in Ottawa. You walked by and you said fuck all when people were carrying Confederate flags in Ottawa. You walked by and you said fuck all while somebody was walking by with a don't tread on me flag. Guess what? That makes you a fucking idiot as well. And anybody that wants to sit there and say, oh, these people were paid by the liberals to just go out and cause trouble for this peaceful protest, go fuck yourself. Because it's the same shit when Black Lives Matter does it down south. People are saying, oh, well, you know, it's the other side that's paying these people to show up and cause trouble and everything else. How about this? We know, okay, we know for a fact that there are assholes in every fucking walk of life. We get that. But again, you are defined by the company you keep. Enough said. For Barry Carter, Thomas Patrice, and Zulf Ali, remember, there are good people out in this world, and if you can't find one, be one.